In this lesson, we're going to look at calculating the value for your suspects lever. Let's start with the data that we're trying to capture, and that is simply the number of suspects. So we're going to count the number of suspects and we're just going to keep that number. We're not going to do any other calculation on it. We just need to count the number of suspects. So you need to refer back to the clarify phase and what you defined as your suspects, and then you need to establish a value for the number of suspects that you have had in your last reporting period, your last cadence. In the simplest format, literally all we're going to do is track the action that you defined as the action the suspects take to become a suspect. That might be visiting your retail store, it might be visiting your online website, whatever it was that you defined. But it is just that one figure. If you want to make things more complex, then what you can do is try and separate out the actions by the different channels. Usually it would be forms of advertising, if it's possible for you to do this, to attribute your suspects to channels. This is a lot easier when you're working online, where you might be able to track that somebody came from a particular type of online advertising. But there are ways for you to track that people came from printed adverts or whatever it might be. But in the first instance, you're literally just looking to track the overall number of people that become suspects. In this lesson, we're going to look at calculating a value for your prospects lever. In order to calculate the value we need for your prospects lever, we need two pieces of data. We need the number of suspects in that particular reporting period, and then we need the number of people that became prospects in that reporting period. And then we're going to calculate from those two values the percentage of suspects who became prospects. So when we look at this from a simple point of view, we are simply looking to track whatever it is that you defined in the clarify stage as the micro commitment that somebody takes to become a prospect. That might be put something in a basket, it might be put something in an online shopping cart, it might be subscribe to a newsletter in an online environment. It might be any number of different things. You just need to refer back to your notes from clarify and take a measurement for the last reporting period for that micro commitment. Now, if you wanted to make things more complex, you could try and attribute data specifically to an individual suspect becoming a specific prospect. But that can be complex and gets even more complex downstream. Similarly, you could look at attributing the channels, again, through different systems, but that can be complex and difficult. So simple would be just to track the overall number of people who became prospects. And the final value that we actually want, that percentage, is obtained by taking the number of prospects, dividing it by the number of suspects, and then multiplying the result by 100. That will give you a single figure, which is your percentage of suspects who became prospects. In this lesson, we're going to look at calculating a value for your conversions lever. The data you're going to need to capture and record for creating the final value we need for your conversions lever is the number of prospects that you're tracking for that recording period and the number of conversions for that reporting period. And then we're going to calculate from that a percentage of prospects who become conversions. When we're calculating and tracking data for this lever, we can use the simple approach of just tracking the overall number of conversions for that reporting period. And this is the easiest approach to implement. If you want to make it more complex and create more granular data, you can try to individually attribute prospects and conversions. And again, you can attribute channels, but both of those can be quite tricky to implement. So first pass, our recommendation is you simply track the number of conversions for that reporting period. To come up with the final figure for conversions, the calculation you're going to perform is to divide the number of conversions by the number of prospects and multiply the result of that by 100. That will give you the percentage of prospects who become conversions.